Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Governor Greg Abbott has COVID. All right, so obviously, yes, not exactly a funny issue, but at the same time, kind of hilarious. Now, Governor Greg Abbott had tested positive less than 24 hours after he attended a crowded GOP event that was described as a standing room only event and where there were shockingly no masks. Very, very few masks present. And you wonder what might have happened. Interesting. So now, and okay, what's interesting about this is that Abbott is fully vaccinated. Okay. So he's a breakthrough case and yet had no symptoms, which is good. This shows that the vaccine is working. And yet, for some reason, decided that he was going to be so scared that he would take Regeneron's monoclonal antibody treatment. So, no symptoms, fully vaccinated, but took the treatment anyway. Why? Why? Well, one ICU doctor, an NBC News analyst, decided to weigh in on this. And here's what he tweeted out. Quickly getting access to monoclonal antibody therapy when you're fully vaccinated, asymptomatic governor of Texas just shows how anxious and scared Greg Abbott actually is of a virus he consistently downplays. Hope Texans take note. Yes, that is pretty interesting, isn't it? So there's important points that I want to touch on this. Okay. For one, he's a breakthrough case, as I mentioned. He got infected anyway because there were people there who were not vaccinated, very likely, and of course, visibly not masked. As simple as that. Yes, you jam a bunch of people in the room without masks, and a lot of them likely without vaccines. Well, you have a chance of getting COVID. The vaccine does not make you 100% immune. But even though you are 95% protected against being hospitalized with serious illness. Most people who get vaccinated and end up with a breakthrough case either develop mild symptoms or no symptoms at all, which is, of course, the case with Governor Abbott. But the thing is, Republicans in Texas especially, but not just in Texas, in Florida, and other states where we're seeing gigantic COVID hotspots, their governors, just like Abbott, have tried to ban mask mandates, vaccine mandates, for private businesses, saying that private businesses cannot say, oh, we require a mask or we require vaccinations for you to come to our establishment. Now, I think that's totally fine. Look, if you require a proof of vaccination to go to the gym, I think that's totally fine. You're a private business. You decide, okay, look, it's like no shirts, no shoes, no service, no mask, no service. Or if you're going to come in and possibly infect our staff and other people that are here, our customers, well, we're not comfortable with that. And I think they should have the ability to do that, to say whether or not, they want people who are unvaccinated in their establishment. And it's totally fine. But Abbott, of course, has pushed against that, taking them to court. And so that's interesting. Now, Texas, as I mentioned, not doing great with the virus. In fact, according to data, COVID-19 cases have skyrocketed in Texas in recent weeks from around 1,000 daily cases in July to now over 20,000 cases reported on Monday. So now cases do matter, absolutely. Deaths, again, you're seeing less deaths as a result of people being vaccinated. But remember, in Texas, they have an only 45% vaccination rate, meaning there is a vast majority of Texans who don't have the vaccine. Not good. Not good at all. So on the breakthrough infections, as I mentioned, you are less likely to be hospitalized or die than the unvaccinated. That's why you see lower death numbers and hospitalizations among the vaccinated. If you were unvaccinated, well then, again, the majority of people who are in the hospital or who are dying, somewhere in the high 90s%, well, that's what happens when you don't vaccinate. When you're unvaccinated, you're in the hospital or you die, or both. But if you're vaccinated, you're going to either have mild symptoms, as I said, or no symptoms if you test positive. So now, that said, New York Times published a little bit of a study on breakthrough infections that are on the rise as a result of the Delta variant. They said breakthrough infections in vaccinated people accounted for at least 1 in 5 newly diagnosed cases in 6 weeks in 6 states studied dealing with the new variant. And higher percentages of total hospitalizations and deaths than had been previously observed in all of them, according to figures gathered by the New York Times. I mean, so again, Delta variant, much more infectious, much more likely to get it even if you're vaccinated, but still way less likely to get it than if you were unvaccinated. So obviously, the best way to fight the Delta variant, or at least to slow it down, is to get your vaccine. And yes, if you're in a place with high community spread indoors, wear the mask. That's it. Keep away from large crowds. Socially distance. Had we all done that in the first place, this entire thing might be over. We wouldn't have the Delta variant or any other worse variants that are bound to crop up, thanks to all these new infections. But let's go back to the politics of it. Not only does Greg Abbott decide to do Regeneron when he doesn't need it, but also takes a third vaccine while also saying, you can't do mask mandates, you can't do vaccine mandates, I won't allow it, but I'm going to take all the treatments when I got it, even though I don't need it. Why? Is he scared of the virus? Is he scared of it? Was he some sort of little bitch? Oh, you're scared? Oh, you're scared of the coronavirus? Are you? Are you? What happened, tough guy? Now, of course, logical people are concerned enough about the virus to take precautions, like wearing the mask and getting the vaccine. But he gets it. And of course, he doesn't follow the mask thing himself, even though he did get a vaccine. And now he's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I gotta get the Regeneron. I gotta get the third. I gotta get the booster. I gotta get the booster. I thought there was no reason to be alarmed by the COVID surge. I mean, just last month, he said, oh, don't worry about the hospitals. Don't worry about COVID, the COVID spike. It's fine. We have abundant capacity. In reality, of course, they do not have abundant capacity. In fact, according to Mark Casanova, a palliative care specialist in Dallas and a member of the Texas Medical Association's COVID-19 task force, quote, we are entering the worst surge in sheer numbers. This is a 4th round of what should have been a 3-round fight. We do have a very sincere concerns that the numbers game is going to overwhelm us. Again, between 93 to 98% of hospitalized COVID patients, depending on the area, are unvaccinated in Texas, according to officials. With just under half of Texans fully vaccinated, the state has still some 16 million people who have yet to be protected from the virus. And they are, of course, filling up the state's intensive care units incredibly rapidly. In Dallas County alone on Monday, only 16 ICU beds were available to serve a county of 2.6 million and its surrounding areas. The day before that, it was 12. But hey, maybe they can find space to give Governor Abbott some Regeneron. No problem. Can do. Look, the big problem with Abbott, well, other than the hypocrisy, of course, is the fact that he's stopping businesses from and schools from doing mask and vaccine mandates. Right now, kids can't be vaccinated. They should be wearing masks in the schools. And look, again, it doesn't work if not enough people are wearing them. And that's the thing. Texans can't even make sure their kids are protected in the schools. But this is in the context, of course, of Abbott taking a third vaccine and even without any symptoms getting Regeneron. Ridiculous. It totally reeks of complete and total hypocrisy. The second he thinks he might be even a tiny little bit in danger, despite, of course, making the choice to go out unmasked in a crowd and fighting against masks, well, then he runs to get the cocktail, the same one that Donald Trump got, which, by the way, is 70% effective at keeping you from developing symptoms, serious symptoms. Symptoms that would require hospitalization. Whereas, again, the vaccine, 95%. How sad. Very, very sad. He doesn't give a damn about his own people, about his own constituents dying. It's all about caring about himself, his own life, and his own political power. What a sick person. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.